There is one player this Champions Trophy who I think has been key to India's success. No, it's not anyone in the batting lineup or any of the many spinners. It's the all-rounder Hardik Pandya. He's performed extremely well for India in this tournament and has answered many of the questions that for me, many fans have been asking for him for a long time when he's been in the team. Hardik the bowler has always been somewhat between a pure frontline bowler and a fifth bowler. However, in this tournament I feel his bowling output has increased massively and he's performed really well as first change or opening bowler in some circumstances and bowled as well if not better than Mohammad Shami on occasion. Of course at the death he hasn't really been used, but up top he's picked wickets and in the middle overs he's managed to keep game tight and not allow easy runs for opposition teams. If you put this alongside big wickets at Babar Azam and Racha Ravindra, then you know that he's bowling well and he's on form. With Hardik, if you look at his raw skills at bowling, he's extremely talented as a bowler. He can touch 140, move the ball in the air, and he's got a well executed bouncer. As I mentioned at the death, he can probably be a bit one-dimensional, but he doesn't really bowl there, so it's not as important. And his stats in the Champions Trophy have been really good. 3 wickets at 24 at a shade under 5 and over. And this has also allowed the balance of the side to be really good. India can play 4 spinners. Now, if you put his batting in the equation as someone who's proven at the back end of an innings, then you know you have a lethal combination. He's a player that's so hard to replicate, and with his current form, India is so lucky to have him. If you look at someone who's similar, I'd say Ben Stokes is probably the closest, and even then, his bowling probably hasn't been as good in recent times, and his batting at the back end of an innings isn't as proven as Hardik, I would say. If you were to combine him with Bumrah, then this side would be lethal, but just having someone who can bowl tough overs and contribute with the bat if needed gives this side so much flexibility. And against New Zealand, where 4 spinners were selected, that's only possible if you have Hardik in the side. And you know he can take the new ball and be effective. That's not to say he's the perfect bowler. He can be a tad more expensive than an out-and-out fast bowler. Doesn't necessarily have the command of his length as much as other bowlers, but if you look at his raw ability and him on a good day, he can hold his own with the most. Let's just hope Hardik continues to have good days at the office for India, and if he has a good semi-final and final, then I think India can win this tournament.